Let's cook the most popular Cameroonian dish. I know a lot of people will argue that Ero is not the most popular Cameroon dish and Dole is more popular, but I do not agree. You guys should let me know what you think in the comment section. So like I said, today I'll be cooking fufu and Ero. Fufu and Ero is a Cameroonian traditional meal for the people in the southwest region, the Bayangi people to be precise, and I've said this so many times here, that is where my husband comes from, so knowing how to cook his traditional meal is very essential. Today I would not be giving you a full-blown recipe video, but I will just show you how I cook my Ero in the traditional way. Okay, I have modified my Ero recipe as the years go by, and this particular recipe is what I have decided to stick to. So first thing I did was just go ahead to prepare all my ingredients. At this point I prepared the crayfish, pepper, Ero, water leaf, everything, and I am just washing my kanda, cow skin, the way it's called. Okay, so I just go in, wash it really well, clean it, and I like this thick cow skin, this thick kanda. When it's thick like that in Ero, oh my god, I love it so much. So that is what I'm doing. So after washing it properly, I just go ahead and chop it in little pieces, and I just put all my proteins in one bowl. That is my fish, my kanda, my towel. I like Ero. For me, Ero is meat. Ero is all about the meat. I just like that each time I'm putting my finger in here, I'm touching meat, because yes, I'm totally a meat girl. Another thing is that I like cooking my Ero on charcoal, because I feel like the fire for the Ero plays a huge part. If you're cooking Ero on low heat, it never turns out well. So I make my charcoal pot and I stand it on the fire, and I go in immediately with my water leaf. So while the water leaf is boiling, I go ahead and I start making my fufu. People make fufu in different ways, so I'll not be showing it here. But if you're interested in how I make my fufu, you can always ask me in the comment section, and I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do my fufu. Generally, I don't know how to make really huge pots of fufu. I can cook fufu for at most 10 people at a go. So if I have to cook for many people, I have to cook like 2 or 3 pots of fufu. But yeah, and I love eating Ero and fufu in particular. So by the time I'm finishing up with my fufu, my water leaf is dry. This is how it looks at this point, and I just go ahead and put in my palm oil first. So I put in the palm oil first. It softens the water leaf again really well, and then I will go on to start adding in my Ero. Okay, this is not how I used to do it before. I'll boil the meat, put the meat, and then I start putting the water leaf in it. But no, I don't do that anymore. So this is me. I'll just go ahead now and I start putting in my Ero. One thing I don't do with my Ero is squeeze it. You know the way people wash Ero and squeeze it? I don't squeeze it. I just put it in the strainer, because they told me a lot of times when you squeeze it, it takes off the Ero juice and it's not going to come out as delicious as it has to come out. So I just put in the Ero, a little bit of Ero, and mix a little bit of Ero and mix with the water leaf till it gets to the consistency I like. Generally, I don't like soft Ero. So if you like your Ero soft, you know when to stop. When you feel like okay, it's just okay, you stop. But for me, I want Ero like my husband is Bangi people like strong Ero, and that's the kind of Ero I like too. So I just keep putting in little amounts and mixing till I get to the consistency I need. But at this point, I have mastered making my Ero properly. So each time I buy, like for example, Ero for 1,500, I know that 2 big leaves of water leaf would just be okay for me to get the Ero at the consistency I generally like. So that is just what you can see me doing here. Sometimes it feels really weird me explaining exactly what I'm doing, but yeah, that's how some of these recipe videos can be. So I just mix and mix and mix, and it's already looking like a yum Ero. guys, how do you like your arrow? Do you like your arrow with gari, or you like your arrow with waterfufu? I am totally a waterfufu girl. I'll pick waterfufu over gari anytime, any day. I hardly eat gari and arrow except when I know that there is no other option. Okay, so after putting in the arrow up to the point that I am now satisfied, I go in and add in a little more red oil. Like, you guys already know my relationship with palm oil, right? I like palm oil food that is shining. Okay, so after that I go in and I put my meat. Take note, I am not using the meat stock because I feel like the meat stock takes away the arrow flavor. The flavor of the meat now overpowers the smell of the arrow, the flavor of the arrow. So that is why I don't use my meat stock. I just go ahead and mix. And like I told you guys before, my arrow is all about the meats and the fish and everything in it. So yes, I go ahead and I start mixing it real good. And oh my god, see that I'm salivating. I'm just thinking about this arrow, guys. This arrow, oh my god, it tasted so good. I still even have some in my freezer. So when I mix, I look at it and I see that the oil is not enough, so I still add in a little bit of palm oil again, and then I put in my seasoning cubes. Sometimes I put in salt, sometimes I don't. Today I did not. I just went ahead and put in 3 seasoning cubes. That is Maggi crevette to be precise, and then the heart of arrow, the crayfish. See, people say this a lot and some people are just like, no, it doesn't matter. What holds arrow for me is the fire and crayfish. When you just put in that crayfish, you start getting the flavor, and there's this flavor of arrow that each time any of these Bayangi mamas cook it, I get it. So each time I'm making arrow, when I get that smell, that flavor, I'm just like, yes, this is the right arrow. I noticed that for the longest time I'll make arrow, but I never had that smell, the flavor I'm talking about. It's then that I noticed that it was because of the stock. I talked to one of these Bayangi mamas, one of my in-laws, and she had explained to me. So I started making it like this, and since then my arrow has been on another level. So this is how it looks, and for me, arrow is not ready till it starts burning under. So I just leave it to boil till it starts burning under. When it starts burning under, I'm like, okay, your arrow is ready. So yes guys, I just take it off the fire and I go and keep it, and we are ready to eat this delicious arrow with some waterfufu. Tell me what you think. Is this how you cook your arrow? How do you generally cook your arrow? Please let me know. Let's talk more. Do you like videos like this? I plan to do more videos like this. Do you like videos like this? Let me know in the comment section as I show you more of Cameroonian delicacies and delicious meals. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye. Mwah.